Here we go. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Winning the Game of Business. Now, if you've been following along with these sessions, you'll know they're all about thinking bigger, acting smarter, and building your business in such a way that it works for you and not the other way around. Now, today I want to talk about something that sounds simple, but changes everything when you get it right. And it's the idea that planning is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it now. I'll just say that again so it lands. Planning is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it now. Sadly, far too many business owners live and run their businesses and their lives in reaction mode. I've certainly done it on occasion. And they spend their days fighting fires, answering questions, and responding to whatever's shouting loudest. But that's not leadership, that's survival. And the problem with survival mode is it keeps you stuck in the present where you're constantly reacting, but rarely creating. Now, if you're not careful, your business can become a bit like a treadmill where you're putting in lots and lots of effort, but making very little progress. And it often feels like you're trying to push water up a hill. Now, planning, on the other hand, flips that on its head, because when you plan well, what you're doing is you're pulling the future into the now so that you can decide in advance what matters most. And when chaos does hit the fan, which it always does, you're not left guessing what to do. And with that in mind, let's break this idea down a bit. Now, when I work with my clients and business owners, I often ask, what does the next version of your business look like? What does the next version of your business look like? And more importantly, in true Jim Rohn style, what's the next version of you that your business is going to need? What's the next version of you that your business is going to need? Because planning isn't about writing a to-do list. It's about building a bridge between today's decisions and tomorrow's results. Who do you need to be able to make those decisions? Now, here's the truth. Most people confuse activity with progress. They think being busy means they're moving forward, but real planning is about intentional movement. And when you plan, you create clarity for what you're working toward and why. And you also create a focus on what matters most right now. And you create accountability by clarifying how you're going to measure that progress. How are you going to know that you're winning? Because if you don't measure it, you can't improve it. Now, if you've had one of those weeks where you worked hard, but you didn't feel like you got anywhere, then that's a sign of poor planning. It means your future never made it into your present. Think about it a bit like this. You wouldn't see a pilot take off without a flight plan, would you? They know the route, they know the checkpoints, and they know what to do if things change. And if they didn't know that, we wouldn't get on the plane, would we? But how many business owners start their week or start their year without a clear plan? They just take off and hope to land somewhere better than where they started. But that's not strategy, is it? That's finger in the air type stuff. That's luck. And luck isn't a system. So, how can you go about bringing the future into the present? Which is a great question. So here's my simple 3-step framework that you can start using right now. Step 1 is to define your destination. What does winning look like in, let's say, the next 12 months? Not vague ideas like more sales. You need to get specific. It needs to be more like revenue has increased by 25%, or I've reduced my working week by 10 hours. And you've achieved the goal, but what specific result did you actually achieve? Step 2 is to identify the mile markers. What needs to happen in a more immediate time frame? And I recommend to my clients they use 90-day time frames. So what needs to happen in the next 90 days to get you closer to your desired destination in the time frame that you want? So what you're doing here is, in this step, is breaking your future into measurable chunks. And then step 3 is to schedule action. If it's not in your calendar, it's not real. Planning only works when your future goals have a slot in your present diary. This is what I mean when I say planning brings the future into the present, so you can actually do something about it now. Without that connection, you'll just keep reacting instead of leading. So, as you head into the rest of your week, ask yourself, are you working from the future or are you trapped in your present? And to help you form the planning habit, what I would suggest is you start small. Plan one future goal and take one small step on it today. Because the future you want isn't waiting for you somewhere out there. It's being built right now in the decisions you make today. Okay, tomorrow I'll be talking more about planning and introducing you to something that I was taught by my coach. And it's a process that's all about the whole mindset thing. And it's a process that I found really eye-opening because it helps you manifest the future that you want. And it's based on science, not woo-woo. So thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, 3:30 p.m. In the meantime, what are you planning to do in the next 24 hours?